Hey there, runner. Right now, at this very moment, your heart might be working way harder than it needs to during your runs. What if I told you that the secret to running faster, longer, and feeling better isn't about pushing harder, but actually about slowing down? Sounds crazy, right? Here's the truth that elite athletes have known for years, but nobody talks about. Your elevated heart rate during easy runs is sabotaging your progress. You're about to discover 3 game-changing strategies that will transform your running in 2026. And the last one is so counterintuitive it might just blow your mind. But before we dive in, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button right now, smash the like button if you're serious about improving your running, and drop a comment telling me what your biggest struggle is with running. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next, because by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why your heart rate has been holding you back and what to do about it starting today. Welcome to a journey that's going to change everything you thought you knew about running and heart rate training. I'm taking you deep into the science, the practical strategies, and the hidden mistakes that even experienced runners make every single day. Prepare to discover why lowering your heart rate during runs is the single most important thing you can do this year to break through plateaus, prevent injuries, and finally enjoy running the way it's meant to be. Enjoyed. This isn't just theory or some trendy fitness hack. This is proven science backed by decades of research and real results from runners just like you. Before we go further, I want to know, where are you watching from? Comment your city or country below so I can see our amazing global running community. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button because we're posting game-changing content every single week. Let's start with the foundation, the reason why your heart rate matters more than you think. When you're out there pounding the pavement, your heart rate tells a story. It's not just a number on your watch, it's a window into how efficiently your body is working, how much stress you're under, and whether you're actually building fitness or just breaking yourself down. Here's what most runners get wrong. They think every run needs to be hard. They think if they're not gasping for air and their heart isn't racing, they're not getting better. But the opposite is true. The magic happens in the easy zones, those runs where your heart rate stays low and controlled. This is where your body builds its aerobic base, where it learns to burn fat efficiently, where your mitochondria multiply, and where your cardiovascular system actually adapts and gets stronger. Elite runners spend about 80% of their training time at low heart rates for this exact reason. They understand that the foundation of speed is built on a massive base of easy, low heart rate running. So the first strategy to lower your heart rate in 2026 is this. Slow down dramatically on your easy days. I mean really slow down, slower than you think you should go. If you're running with a heart rate monitor, stay in zone 2, which is roughly 60 to 70% of your maximum heart rate. What does this feel like? You should be able to hold a full conversation without getting breathless. If you can't talk in complete sentences, you're going too hard. For most people, this means running at a pace that feels almost uncomfortably slow at first. Your ego will fight this because you'll see other runners passing you, and you'll feel like you're not working hard enough. Ignore that voice. This is where the real transformation happens. Your body needs these easy days to recover, to adapt, to build the aerobic engine that will eventually allow you to run faster at lower heart rates. Now ponder this with me for a moment. What if the reason you're stuck at your current pace isn't because you're not working hard enough, but because you're not recovering enough? What if your body is constantly in a state of stress and never gets the chance to actually adapt and improve? This brings us to the second strategy. Structured training with proper intensity distribution. You can't just run easy all the time, but you also can't run hard all the time. The key is balance, and this is where most runners completely mess up. They end up running everything at a moderate pace, too hard to build aerobic base, too easy to stimulate speed adaptations. This is called the moderate intensity trap, and it's killing your progress. Instead, you need to polarize your training. Make your easy days truly easy, keeping that heart rate low, and make your hard days actually hard with specific workouts like intervals, tempo runs, or hill repeats where your heart rate is allowed to climb. But here's the critical part. Those hard days should only make up about 20% of your weekly running. The rest should be low heart rate, conversational pace running. When you structure your training this way, something magical happens over the weeks and months. Your body becomes more efficient at lower heart rates. The pace that used to spike your heart rate to 170 beats per minute might now only raise it to 150. You're running the same speed with less effort, less stress, and more enjoyment. This is called cardiac drift reduction and improved running economy, and it's the holy grail of endurance training. Let me ask you something. Are you enjoying this video so far? Are these strategies making sense? Comment below and let me know what you think about this approach to training. Tell me, have you been stuck in that moderate intensity trap? Write yes or no in the comments right now because I want to hear from you. Your engagement helps this content reach more runners who need to hear this message. The third strategy is the one that surprises everyone, and it has nothing to do with running itself. It's about what you do between your runs, and it might be even more important than the running. We're talking about heart rate variability training, stress management, sleep optimization, and building a resilient nervous system. Your heart rate during running isn't determined only by your fitness level. It's massively influenced by your overall stress, your recovery status, your sleep quality, and your nervous system state. If you're chronically stressed from work, not sleeping enough, eating poorly, and constantly stimulated by screens and caffeine, your heart rate will be elevated during runs no matter how fit you are. Your body doesn't differentiate between types of stress. Stress is stress, whether it's from a hard workout, a difficult project at work, relationship problems, or doom scrolling on social media. It all adds up and it all impacts your autonomic nervous system, which controls your heart rate. So here's what you need to do. Start treating recovery as seriously as you treat training. This means prioritizing 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep every single night. Sleep is when your body repairs, when your heart rate variability improves, when your nervous system resets. Without adequate sleep, you're fighting a losing battle. Next, incorporate stress reduction practices into your daily routine. This could be meditation, breathwork exercises, yoga, walking in nature, or any activity that activates your parasympathetic nervous system, your rest and digest mode. Even just 10 minutes of deep breathing before bed can make a measurable difference in your next day's heart rate. Also pay attention to your nutrition and hydration. Dehydration alone can spike your heart rate by 10 to 15 beats per minute during a run. Make sure you're drinking enough water throughout the day, not just during your runs, and focus on whole foods, plenty of vegetables, quality proteins, healthy fats, and complex carbohydrates that provide steady energy without blood sugar spikes and crashes. Here's another thing that nobody talks about: caffeine consumption and its impact on heart rate. If you're pounding multiple cups of coffee throughout the day and then wondering why your heart rate is elevated during evening runs, well, there's your answer. I'm not saying you need to quit caffeine completely, but be strategic about it. Maybe save it for before your hard workouts when you want that extra boost, but avoid it before easy runs where you're trying to keep your heart rate low. Also, consider your training environment. Running in extreme heat dramatically increases heart rate because your body is working overtime to cool itself down. The same workout that keeps you in zone 2 during cool morning temperatures might push you into zone 4 on a hot afternoon. Be flexible and adjust your expectations based on conditions. Sometimes lowering your heart rate means choosing to run at cooler times of day or finding shaded routes. Now I want you to think about something important. How often do you actually listen to your body? How often do you check in with how you're feeling rather than just following a rigid training plan? This is crucial because some days your heart rate will be higher than normal for reasons you might not even be aware of. You could be fighting off a virus, you could be more stressed than usual, you could simply need an extra rest day. Learning to read these signals and adjust accordingly is what separates smart runners who progress consistently from stubborn runners who end up injured or burned out. Use your heart rate as biofeedback. If your usual easy pace is spiking your heart rate 10 beats higher than normal, that's your body telling you something. Maybe you need to slow down even more that day, or maybe you need to just take a rest day altogether. There's no shame in rest. In fact, rest is when you actually get stronger. The workout breaks you down, the rest builds you back up. Let me share something that ties all of this together, something that changed my perspective completely. Your heart is a muscle, just like your legs, and it responds to training stimulus. But unlike your legs, which you can see getting stronger in the mirror, your heart's improvements are invisible. You can't see your left ventricle getting bigger. You can't see your stroke volume increasing. You can't see your capillary networks expanding. But all of these adaptations are happening when you train correctly. And the beautiful thing is that these adaptations mean your heart becomes more efficient. It can pump more blood with each beat, which means it doesn't need to beat as many times to deliver the same amount of oxygen to your muscles. This is why trained runners have lower resting heart rates and lower heart rates during exercise. Their hearts are stronger, bigger, more efficient machines. But building this adaptation takes time and requires patience. You can't force it to happen faster by running harder all the time. In fact, that approach backfires because you end up overstressed, under-recovered, and your body never gets the chance to actually adapt. Question for you right now. Do you track your resting heart rate every morning? Comment below and tell me yes or no, because this is one of the most valuable metrics you can monitor. Your resting heart rate, measured first thing in the morning before you get out of bed, tells you so much about your recovery status. If it's elevated 5 to 10 beats above your normal baseline, that's a red flag that you're either getting sick, overtrained, or insufficiently recovered. That's a day when you should seriously consider taking it easy or resting completely, even if your training plan says to do a hard workout. Listening to this data can prevent injuries and illness before they derail your training. Let's talk about practical implementation, because information without action is useless. Starting right now in 2026, here's your action plan. First, get a reliable heart rate monitor. Wrist-based monitors on watches are okay, but chest strap monitors are more accurate, especially at lower intensities. You need accurate data to train by heart rate effectively. Second, figure out your training zones. You can do this with a lab test, a field test like a 30-minute time trial, or use a simple formula like 220 minus your age to estimate maximum heart rate. Though keep in mind, this is just an estimate and can be off by 10 to 15 beats. Third, commit to running at least 3/4 of your weekly mileage in Zone 2, that conversational easy pace. Be disciplined about this even when it feels too easy. Fourth, schedule 1 or 2 quality sessions per week where you do structured work at higher intensities, but make sure these are truly hard efforts with proper warm-up and cool-down. Fifth, track your progress over time by noting the pace you can maintain at specific heart rates. You should see that over weeks and months, you can run faster at the same heart rate, or maintain the same pace at a lower heart rate. This is the objective proof that you're improving. What do you believe about all this? Does it challenge what you thought you knew about training? Write in the comments and tell me your biggest takeaway so far. What's resonating with you? And how's the video treating you up to this point? Let me know, because your feedback matters. One more critical piece that brings everything together. Consistency beats intensity every single time. The runner who trains moderately but consistently for months will always outperform the runner who goes hard for a few weeks, gets injured or burned out, takes time off, and then tries to start over. Lowering your heart rate during running isn't about one perfect workout or one magical week of training. It's about building habits, routines, and a sustainable approach that you can maintain month after month, year after year. This is a lifestyle, not a quick fix. The adaptations we're talking about, the increased mitochondrial density, the improved capillarization, the enhanced cardiac output, these all take months to develop fully. But once you have them, they're relatively stable, and they form the foundation for everything else you want to achieve in running. Want to run a faster 5K? You need that aerobic base. Want to complete your first marathon? You absolutely need that aerobic base. Want to keep running into your 60s, 70s, and beyond? The aerobic base built from low heart rate training is what keeps your body resilient and injury resistant. Think about the long game here. Where do you want to be 6 months from now, a year from now, 5 years from now? Do you want to still be struggling with the same issues, stuck at the same pace, dealing with the same injuries? Or do you want to be that runner who's consistently improving, who makes it look easy, who genuinely enjoys their runs instead of suffering through them? The choice is yours, and it starts with the decisions you make today. It starts with having the discipline to slow down when everyone else is speeding up. It starts with trusting the process, even when your ego is screaming at you to run harder. It starts with respecting your body's need for recovery and building a training approach that's sustainable for life. So here's where we land after this journey together. Lowering your heart rate during running in 2026 is absolutely achievable, and it will transform not just your performance, but your entire relationship with running. The 3 pillars are clear. Run truly easy on your easy days, staying in zone 2 with conversational pace. Structure your training properly with polarized intensity so your hard days are actually hard and your easy days are actually easy, and prioritize recovery, stress management, sleep, and overall life balance, because your running heart rate is influenced by everything you do. These aren't complicated strategies, but they require discipline and patience. You need to trust that doing the work at lower intensities will pay off even when it doesn't feel like you're working hard enough. You need to give your body time to adapt instead of constantly pushing and breaking it down. And you need to remember that running should enhance your life, not dominate it or destroy it. The beautiful thing about this approach is that it's self-reinforcing. Once you start running with lower heart rates, you'll feel better during and after your runs. You'll recover faster, you'll have more energy for the rest of your life, and you'll be less prone to injury. This positive feedback loop will motivate you to keep going, to stay consistent, and to continue improving. And months from now, when you look back at your training data and see that you're running significantly faster at the same heart rate, or maintaining your usual paces with your heart rate 15 or 20 beats lower, you'll have concrete proof that this works. That's when it all clicks, and you'll never want to go back to the old way of training. Your homework right now is simple. Commit to 1 month of disciplined Zone 2 running. Just 1 month where 80% of your runs are truly easy, conversational pace, letting go of ego and pace expectations. Track your heart rate and pace data. Then at the end of that month, compare your numbers to where you started. I promise you'll see improvements that will convince you this is the way forward. But you have to actually do it. Knowledge without action changes nothing. Now here's what I want you to do. Drop a comment right now telling me you're committed to trying this approach. Write something like, "I'm going to lower my heart rate in 2026," or share your specific goal. Making that public commitment increases your likelihood of following through. Also, hit that like button if this video gave you value, subscribe if you want more evidence-based training content that actually works, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next video where we're diving deep into specific workouts you can do to improve your running economy and speed. Click the video on your screen right now to continue this journey with me. I'll see you there. Keep running smart, keep listening to your body, and remember that the best runners aren't always the ones who work the hardest, they're the ones who work the smartest. Let's make 2026 your breakthrough year.